With a couple of IKEA parts, a handful of hardware store bits, and just enough misplaced confidence to ignore the instruction manual, you can build a miniature transport case that protects your army, looks incredible on display, and doesn't feel like you bought it from a tactical luggage aisle. And yes, this one addresses the comments from the last transport case video. So, mind your miters and master your materials for the role. Now, let's talk about off-the-shelf transport cases. Are they practical? Well, yes. Are they protective? Absolutely. And do most of them look like you're about to defuse a bomb instead of deploy an army? Also, yes. Big black boxes, tactical foam bricks, all the aesthetic charm of airport luggage. And look, they do the job, but they're often expensive, usually uninspiring, and designed to be hidden under the table rather than displayed proudly in your hobby space. In my last DIY transport case video, we proved that you can build something functional, affordable, and actually good looking. But a few of you had some concerns. Questions about rigidity, concerns about durability, accommodation for the taller models, dust worries, and real-world travel concerns. So this time, I've redefined the designs. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build one of two transport cases using readily available IKEA components and accessible hardware store upgrades. And then, in the next video that will follow this one, we build the big one. The larger, more extravagant display case that's the full-fat, no apology 2000 point I bought everything experience. More presence, more capacity, more visual impact. Something that doesn't just carry your army, it shows it off. Because that's the real difference here. We're not just building storage cases, we're building display pieces that happen to be transport solutions. Now, these videos aren't about replacing those premium options. It's about building something more personal whilst also being functional and durable. For this case, I started out with two bamboo storage boxes from IKEA, the Updatera. The Update Era. These are both durable and lightweight, perfect for reducing the overall weight if you have any concerns there or if you walk to your local game stores. Nice. The idea behind these two boxes is that when placed on their side and put together, they will form the outer shell and open from the center to act as both a transport case and an army display when you're playing your games. Overall, the two boxes together will give us a volume of around 1300 cubic inches to work with, perfect for most elite armies or lists. The part lists to make this build work are in the description below, most of which can be found at your local hardware store, if not online. No transport case will be complete without removable shelves, so the first thing I did was go to my local hardware store to grab an MDF sheet. I opted for the 6mm thickness. You can go for 3mm thickness if you want to save a little bit of extra space and a little bit of cost, but I found this to be a little too flexible and might bend with heavier metal models. Quick tip number one. If your hardware store has an in-house cutting service, keep this in mind as it could save you time later on when we come to cut these boards down for our shelves. I'll give you the dimensions later in the video so that you can mark them out in store and have them cut for you straight away. The next thing I did was head home and start designing the inner shelf stacks that I wanted to have. It's the same you see in every other transport case that allows you to have the height adjustable shelves. I quickly sketched this up on the PC and printed it out. Now, for the people that don't have a 3D printer or access to one, stay with me. The same as my last transport case, the shelf stack that I've printed can be replaced with moldings or channeling like this. You can pick it up from your local hardware store and cut it to size. It's cheap, easy, and works in the exact same way. The only difference is that my 3D printed shelf stacks give a little bit more of a height option. The next step of putting it all together needed a little more room than I had in the studio, so I took all the parts over to channel friend ACWoodcraft in their home studio and got to work. If you or someone you know loves the wizarding world of Harry Potter and can appreciate quality craftsmanship, I'd highly recommend ACWoodcraft for their amazing work. Not a sponsor, just a shout out and a thank you to a quality craftsman. Link to their Etsy store is in the description below. I opted for a piano hinge as they have a very low profile and also give stability across the seam, reducing any twisting that can occur with normal butt hinges. Make sure to countersink the drilled holes on the inside of the box. I'm using M3 nuts and bolts to attach the piano hinge, specifically ones with the countersink bolt head, so that it allows the bolts to sit nice and flush in the wood on the inside of the box. This will later benefit us when we add the internal shelf stack. All the fixings I used for this project were M3 12mm countersunk bolts with the washers and nuts to match. The next thing to add were the latch clasps, one at the top and one at the bottom. Once again, mark out, drill, countersink and bolt these into place. Once that's all done, you've got an outer working shell. At this point, I measured and marked out the shelves on the MDF board. Now my shelves are marked out at 308mm by 122mm. These are the dimensions you'll need if you're getting your board cut at your local hardware store. I also marked out 3 additional 160 by 122mm shelves that also helped solve another concern that was raised in the previous video, but I'll come to that in a bit. These measurements take into consideration the thickness of my printed shelf stacks, as well as the ability to sand down the edges to round off the corners. If you're using molding to act as your shelf stacks, change these to 312 by 122mm. I cut mine out off camera, but MDF is durable enough to be cut with a standard wood saw if you've got a straight hand and no power tools or a cutting service in your local hardware store. Before I moved into the next stage, I also wanted to cover another quick tip. If you find that your case has a little bit of a gap around the seam, then you can get some 3x5mm foam gasket and run it along the lip of one of the boxes. This will then close up the gap and compress down to make a tight seal. Moving on. I then dry fit the shelves into one side to make sure it all worked. Another concern that was raised in the comments on the previous transport case video was transporting taller minis or centerpiece models, as this was an issue. So, to tackle this, without losing loads of shelf space, I designed these runners. So gluing these runners in the center of each box means players will have a choice depending on if they need to have the height for those centerpiece models. If you want this flexibility, my suggestion is to only glue the shelf stack that are furthest from the hinge on each side, and then glue down the center runners, using those smaller shelves we cut out earlier as a distance guide, on each side. This allows you to adjust the shelf stack as you wish, with the shelves and runners holding the opposite stack in place. Now, if you're building this with no 3D printer, all you need to do is get a thin panel of MDF board and glue your moldings that support the shelves to this instead. For the runners, just trim thin lengths of MDF board and glue these to the top and to the bottom in the center and leave a big enough gap to allow the false wall to slide in and out. Following that, I took the shelves outside for a once over with a spray can to turn them black. I picked up some rubber steel sheets online, the standard A4 paper size with adhesive backing, and began to measure out attaching these to the shelves to act as our magnetic surface for our minis to sit on. The width of the shelves was a little too wide to allow the magnetic sheet to cover 2 full shelves, so I cut the sheet in half and had the machined straight cut edge run along one edge of the shelf each. This would act as my front, leaving a small gap at the back, small enough to reduce our waste on the sheet, but not big enough to affect us using the full shelf for our minis to still stick to. Unless you're a heathen that sticks the magnet right on the edge of your mini base rather than close to the center. I also put more rubber steel sheets on the bottom and the back sections that can hold our centerpiece models. Now, you can stop here and have a great, subtle transport case that works well. But 40k isn't subtle, so let's add a little something extra to really drive that faction identity home. I mocked up a 3D design of the Necron faction symbol. I specifically wanted the design to be hollow to allow me to add lights on the inside whilst making it easy to 3D print. I wanted the lights to emanate that infamous glowing room look that the faction is synonymous with. Now, I'll stress again, like I have done in previous videos involving electronics, I'm not an expert in these matters. I know enough to get me by safely to show you that it can be done, but not enough to be able to guide you through the process like I can do with everything else. If you're confident in dealing with basic electronics safely, then what's on screen should easily guide you. But if not, I'd urge you to look at YouTube after this video for guides on how to use electronics with miniatures. There's lots of great videos out there explaining the process far better than I ever could. Just to be safe, I don't want any melted minis from small electrical fires. The very last addition I made was to add another of the clasp latches to the opposite side of the box without the catch. This was so that I could attach a carry strap to the case, making it easy to carry if you walk or use public transport to get to your games rather than driving. Oh yeah, nice. This case is great for players that have more elite, smaller armies, and for those that enjoy kill team or combat patrol. I can also fit a full 2,000 point army in this box, with both large and centerpiece models and plenty of infantry and vehicles. However, I will note that if you're more of a horde player, maybe Guard, Gene Cult or Nids, you might struggle to get a full 2,000 point army in this box. This is awesome for those players that want something that's a little subtle, yet practical. Before we move on, let's just take a quick hobby detour. When I was over in the States at the end of the last year, I visited East Coast Cards and Nerds in Palm Bay, Florida. And I have to say, what a brilliant little gem of a store it was. Now, if you're already into the tabletop world, you already know there's a dangerous crossover with 40k and trading card games. 1 minute, you're edge highlighting your models. The next, you're cracking packs round a table for draft night. These guys have everything. Magic the Gathering, Disney's Arcana, Pokemon TCG, Riftbound, and Bandai. The staff? Incredibly friendly. Proper, welcoming local game store energy. The kind of place you walk into and immediately feel at home. This isn't sponsored, I just genuinely had such a good experience that I wanted to give them a shout out. If you're local, go and support them. And if you're not, they've got a 99.9% positive rating on TCG Player. Honestly, great store, great people. The link to their store is in the description below. And with the transport case built, let's see how it looks on the tabletop. And there we have it, a compact, understated transport case that looks like it belongs in your hobby room, not in the overhead compartment of a budget airline. We've kept the clean aesthetic, we've kept the materials accessible, but this time we've refined the design. A lighter, more rigid, stronger where it needs to be, walking-friendly transport case. And built to accommodate taller models without forcing them into awkward foam yoga positions. The original build using the IKEA hard matter had some of you concerned. It was too heavy, not rigid enough, not enough vertical clearance, all addressed here. This version is streamlined, reinforced, and designed with a real-world use in mind. Whether that's heading to your local club or a friend's house, or just moving it from your shelf to table without holding your breath. Because again, we're not just building storage, we're building display pieces that happen to move armies safely. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, this is great, but I need more space, more presence, more I bought everything energy, don't worry. In part 2, I'm going to show you how to build a transport case that the chapter master himself would be proud of. Same philosophy, just bigger, bolder, and braver. And if you've enjoyed this build and you want to see more dangerously practical hobby solutions like this, make sure you hit the subscribe and give the video a like, and let me know in the comments what you would tweak and upgrade next. I want to thank the channel producer, Danny H, and all the other Patreon members for their continued support. If you'd also like to support the channel, you can join the Patreon with tiers starting at just $4 a month. Or you can grab one of these faction-inspired combat gauges from my Etsy store. Both are linked in the description below. Your support genuinely keeps this channel going and helps me keep testing questionable DIY ideas so you don't have to. If you're interested in printing the shelf stacks and runners for your own build, then I've linked them in the description below, where you can download them and the Necron logo completely for free to print for yourselves. All I ask is that you let me know how your build turned out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.